into another edition of Celtics Roundtable here on CLNS Media. CLNS Media, the leading online provider of audio, video coverage of your Boston Celtics. Evan Valenti alongside Sam Sheehan and Zaire. Matt Egnall producing this show. Could chime in from here and there, but we'll see. I don't know if Matt's can participate today, so he's at least on the line with us. But I do want to tell you guys, today's episode is powered by eHarmony. Go to eHarmony right now, eHarmony.com, and get a free month. Whether you sign up for a 3-month subscription, just use our promo code Boston Celtics at checkout. Again, it's a free month of eHarmony after you sign up for a 3-month subscription by using the promo code Boston Celtics. Well, it was an uneventful game from TD Garden. I would say uneventful. Monday night, Celtics with 108 to 99 or 109 to 98. There we go. Celtics now won 3 games in a row, the 3 games after the All-Star break. But you guys know this is a Tuesday tirade edition of Celtics Roundtable, which this means it's pretty much all hot takes for the entire show. And with that, I will lead things off with, I think, a hot take that's sort of getting a little bit of steam, but not a lot of people are going to quite push the envelope yet. We've had the Daniel Theis. We need to start Daniel Theis movement. I've seen that around. I think it's fantastic. I'm going to raise that one more. Guys, I predict, and this is going to be my bet, and what we end up doing in terms of, what happens when I win, what happens if I lose the bet. We'll figure that out later down the road. But my bet, my prediction is Daniel Theis will log more minutes in the playoffs than Aron Baynes. And this trend is already starting. It's happened this month. This month alone, Theis now up to 19 minutes a game, almost 20 minutes a game. Meanwhile, Aron Baynes down to 16. I think Theis is a much more valuable player for what Boston does. I'm not trying to take anything away from Aron Baynes because he plays a very specific role for the Boston Celtics. And against certain matchups, yes, he's going to play more. When they play a team like Detroit and need a bigger body down low to move Andre Drummond out of the paint and guys like that, you're going to see a lot of Aron Baynes. But for the most part, Daniel Theis fits this team a lot better. He's obviously a better three-point shooter. He has great chemistry with Marcus Smart and pick and rolls. He has great hands. He's a better defender, I think, in terms of switching, in terms of moving around and being lateral. I think he's exactly what Boston was looking for a big man. I apologize to Aron Baynes, who's been really great this year, but I think Daniel Theis is flat out better than him at this point.
Wow. Not all of Australia anymore. We're hanging that one up, huh?
Germany, brother.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, Evan. I don't know if I'd be so bold as to predict it, but I think that I think that's something that's largely dependent on matchups. If the Celtics are a high enough seed to catch Philly or Detroit in the first round, I think we're going to see a lot more of Aron Baynes because, like as you said, you're going to need him out there playing against those bigger guys and maybe absorbing those fouls. But look, Daniel Theis provides more floor stretching ability. He's a great rebounder. He, rolls to the rim, which is, the important thing is that he can space the floor either way. If you get him in a pick and roll situation, he dives well. And if he doesn't command the attention, you have him out there with guys like Marcus Smart or Kyrie that can find him. He's going to get you 2 points if they don't, body up correctly on that side of the thing. So, he's he's more switchy than Baynes, which I think teams tend to play out more in the playoffs. So it's a strong chance we might see that. But the real thing is, I think that I wonder if the Celtics rotation will be shortened to such a point that maybe Theis, they won't even really need him to play that much. Would be my only counterpoint.
I think Daniel Theis in that 10 to 15 minute role, that's his sweet spot kind of sort of thing. But I think he can play more minutes. I don't know if I want to go all crazy and say he's going to play 25 minutes again. I don't think I want to do all that. But what I do love about him is that as the season progresses, he's playing better. I think he's shooting 58% since the turn of the new year. And it's just a great thing to see with a first-year NBA player because he's never probably played this much basketball in his life, this much high quality basketball in his life. So, but Daniel Theis in the playoffs, I guarantee he'll play very considerable, important minutes, I should say. I think he'll play important minutes because I think he's earned that right. And I think he'll be more valuable than Aron Baynes in most situations. Just on what I see.
I tend to agree with that. The one thing about Theis when the season first started, I know Matt has done a good job of kind of pushing this sort of move where I didn't think Daniel Theis was going to be really any good. I was just kind of like, oh, he's just kind of a throw-in guy at the end of the bench, and he's not going to really mean a lot. He's not going to log a lot of minutes for them. But as a lot of people have pointed out on Twitter over the past, I don't know, couple of weeks, Daniel Theis has really started to put this thing together. He's at the 58% shooting, as Zaire alluded to, this month of February, 38% from three, which, again, is not in a lot of attempts, but he is at least a threat from outside, which is saying something for a guy that's never really played in NBA minutes before. Yeah.
Evan, the guy is 13 of 29 from three since the beginning of the year. And for a guy in his role, that's phenomenal. I was on the other side with at the beginning in preseason when I saw what he could do, and I felt Aron Baynes was going to be at the end of the bench. I thought Daniel Theis, just seeing how he plays, like he's playing better, but he always had this thing about him where it's like he knows what's going on out there. He just seems like a smart basketball player who knows how to do what he does well and stay away from what he doesn't do well. That's just what it seemed like in the preseason, and it seemed like he was hungry for an opportunity, and he's feasting on that opportunity right now. So this guy is he's one of the stories of the year, and I just believe that I think next year, does he have a team option next year?
I think he's got a rookie. It's actually, I think it's 2 years. I think he's got the full
2-year deal. That has a $1.3 million option after that. I think Keith Smith knocked that out on Twitter earlier Monday night.
I think it's team control for the next 2 years after this one. I know that for a fact. So
it was only $800,000 this year. I think it's literally dirt cheap.
I really think he has a 2-year situation where it's $800,000 and 1.3 next year. So I just believe this is a guy that you can keep around for the next 3 or 4 years. And even if he's still just a role player off your bench, at least he knows what to do out there. He understands the system. And if any young guys come in, he could be a great mentor to those guys. This is a great locker room kind of person.
Yeah, I just enjoy the fact that the one thing about rookies in the NBA that's really, again, a constant narrative, no matter who you're talking about, even with Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum, consistency is always kind of a big thing. And the one thing about Theis is he's remarkably consistent in a role that, features him very well. And give credit to Brad Stevens and the rest of the coaching staff, for making sure his role is very clearly defined. But he has taken the minutes he's been given and really thrived in them. And the one thing that I get, really jacked up about is, watching him defensively kind of, as a team defender, start to really cover up a lot of weaknesses for them. And he's had a couple of blocks past couple of games to show that particular point of it. But he's communicating very well. He's a guy that doesn't get backed down too easily by bigger guys. Obviously, a guy like DeAndre Drummond or Marc Gasol, is going to have an easier time backing him down just because the sheer girth of those two guys. But for the most part, with the way the NBA is being played right now with modern-day big men, you look at some of the guys they've had in the past in that role. You look at Jonas Jerebko a little bit. You look at Amir Johnson. And even at points, I'm not trying to really go this far out there because I think Kelly Olynyk and him are different players. But, the fact that he's been remarkably consistent, and the biggest bugaboo and the biggest problem I had with Kelly Olynyk was how inconsistent he was. Again, I just find Theis to be a very refreshing breath of fresh air here.
Yeah. I will take Daniel Theis every day over Kelly Olynyk because Daniel Theis, the reason why Kelly Olynyk's biggest detriment is that he's not confident. He's not sure of himself. He doesn't know when he can go and when he can't go. Daniel Theis is extremely confident in his skills and his ability. Daniel Theis has been a big-time player in a different place, so he understands how to be a star in his role. And right now, he's a star in his role. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be, a starter and do all of this, but in his role that he's in, he is often the best guy in the situation. Let me not say often, but many times we've seen him be the best guy in the situation. So, yeah, Kelly, no. And I would take Daniel Theis every day of the week over Kelly Olynyk.
I will agree with you as soon as Daniel Theis throws the Wizards and John Wall out of the club in a Game 7.
It's a great point.
Which I'm not, by the way, I'm not writing off.
Yeah, that could totally happen.
Totally in the cards.
Although it could be Sans John Wall, though.
Right. Also, real quick, I checked up on that. The 1.3 non-guaranteed for next year, and then it's a 1.8 qualifying offer, which the Celtics will certainly pick up.
Yes.
So it's going to be restricted free agency. The Celtics will have a right to match on him. It's going to be real interesting to see with the new cap situation, what that is. But that's going to be very important when you're a team that's going to be, need to be contending in those years. It's a little disappointing that that's actually the year when Kyrie needs to get paid and when, the Celtics are really going to hit the number crunch. So, I'm not sure if it'll work out if someone throws a crazy offer sheet at him.
Well, I'll tell you this, though. This is going to have to be sort of this thing. We've seen Durant take less to kind of keep that team together. Kyrie's going to take less so they can keep Daniel Theis around. That's just what we're going to have to do.
I thought you were going to say we're going to need to see Daniel Theis take less to keep.
That's what I should have said. That's what I should have said. Can we pull that back? Can we just do that again? Can we reverse that? And can we end that again?
All right, let's play this out. Who's shooting better from the field? Kevin Durant or Daniel Theis? I'm just saying, let's just go look at the numbers. Who's the better 7-footer?
These are called stats, folks.
This is the stats. These are the analytics. Look, I'm just reading the numbers.
Right. But to your point, Sam, and it was brought up on the broadcast. Scala's brought it up several times, and it's just basically a nice feather to have in your cap, nice guy to have in your side about how. The way Boston has structured things, and they talked about how Boston didn't acquire Tyreke Evans, and for the exact same reason, Sam, you have said on this show multiple times, or you've written about it on Celtics Hub, for the reason that when you get good, valuable players that can play meaningful minutes for you. Again, meaningful can be any sort of definition, but to play meaningful minutes for you with that particular locked-in salary structure, you'd rather have a guy like. Daniel Theis for literally nothing over 3 months of Tyreke Evans, and then all of a sudden you've given up a draft pick and you can't re-sign Tyreke Evans because he's going to make too much money. Right. This is exactly to your point.
And maybe maybe I'm being a little bit too disrespectful to the players when I say this. Those guys work really hard, but I honestly believe that having Brad Stevens as your coach is just another enormous reason to never do that. He always seems to get the best out of the players, and it seems like he can turn any fringe NBA rotation guy into a solid rotation guy. I mean, look at Shane Larkin. Shane Larkin, he's not great, but he's went from being not in the league to being I don't feel that bad about when Larkin is the backup when he's 2 on the depth chart. I'm not feeling great about it, but I'm not feeling like a guy who's been out of the league for 2 years or whatever it's been. So just another thing to bear in mind there. But I was going to be interested to see who gets more money, Theis or Durant in 2 years.
Well,
I guess.
Yeah, that's a great question. But I do agree that Brad Stevens happens to get the best out of his players, regardless who's on the team. Get the best out of your dating life by signing up for eHarmony today, folks. That's right. Today's show is powered in part by eHarmony. I want to thank eHarmony for, of course, sponsoring this podcast. Folks, if you're tired of online dating, chances are you've run into a few things, right? Lazy text messages, dead-end conversations, and random matches that just don't go anywhere and they don't turn into dates. You really just can't get to know someone just by looking at their picture, and that's where eHarmony comes into place because they're unlike any other dating site out there on the web, on your phone right now. They take steps that other dating sites do not in order to find you a more compatible match, and they are built to help you find lasting, meaningful relationships. They're not just a shallow hookup site. They've helped out over 1 million people find their perfect match. We signed up Jimmy Toscano as a part of CLNS here. He has taken the plunge, so to speak. It took him a week and a half, 2 weeks to find a date. Wasn't too bad. But we got to keep on going. eHarmony uses years and years of science and data and psychological research to send you the right matches. It just brings compatible people together. There are plenty of hookup sites out there, not eHarmony. Right now, our listeners get 1 free month with eHarmony. Let's up for a 3-month subscription just by entering our code Boston Celtics at checkout. Again, that's a free month, the 3-month subscription by using the promo code Boston Celtics. Stop waiting. Start your journey to a satisfying, meaningful relationship today. It can be fun to play around with online dating apps when you're finally ready to fall in love, okay? You need to have a meaningful relationship that you only use one app that's ability to bring real love, and that's eHarmony. Come and see how eHarmony can change your life. Go to eHarmony.com. Get started today and enter the promo code Boston Celtics at checkout. Evan Valenti, Sam Sheehan, Zaire, Medegnol producing this whole thing, putting the whole thing together here on a Tuesday Tirades edition. We had this conversation a little bit before the podcast started. Let's rehash it because I think it's actually a perfect conversation for Tuesday Tirades. We went to Sam for the first question. Zaire, I'm coming to you for this one. Would you rather have Marc Gasol or Al Horford?
Oh boy, Al Horford now, I guess, and Al Horford with this team. But yeah, I don't disrespect Marc Gasol, Marc Gasol has been one of the rare old school throwback big men kind of guys that I enjoy these days. But yeah, Al Horford just is a talented guy that just makes people better. And I'll take him.
The way Al Horford plays defense, I think, is very important to what Boston does. And the fact that you can switch and be mobile on that back line, more mobile than Gasol probably is, even at their respective ages, I think is very big for them. I mean, Al does a lot of really great stuff. He's a great passer. He's a great screen setter. He shoots threes. He stretches the floor. He opens things up for guys. He can play point guard. And Boston's experimented with that a little bit. You know, I think you could do similar things with Marc Gasol. I just think the way Al Horford plays laterally makes a big difference in why you'd want Al Horford over Marc Gasol. Maybe I'm crazy, though.
Yeah, I just think Al is perfect for this squad and this coach. He's just perfect for what they have going on. Maybe another team he could play for, or he could play for anybody, but another team that he would flourish in is maybe like a Houston, something like that. But he's just in a great situation for him, and the Celtics are great. They're great because of him. So it's a perfect marriage, I think.
You know what I should do? If I lose this bet, do I get whatever, and I hate to make fun of the kid, but whoever the kid was who had the Kyrie shaving in the back of his head, is that my punishment for losing? Do I just pull that off? Because that was pretty something.
You know a barber that good? I mean, I don't know.
I do know a barber that good.
Everyone's going off on that. I mean, it was clearly Kyrie. I knew who it was. That's the first step, right?
Or it's Man from Ganja. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that? I freaking died when I saw that, but maybe that's the move I'll do. I'll go down to, I know a couple of barbers here in the Berkshire, so maybe I'll make it like a Boston trip thing where I go down to Boston Barbers and get it done by my guy Roy, who cut Gordon Hayward's hair. Maybe we can set that up. Be like, hey man, how good are you at doing how good are you at putting people's faces on the back of my head?
Do you do portraits?
That'd be incredible. That's going to do it for this episode of Celtics Roundtable here on CLNS Media. I want to thank you guys for tuning in here on a Tuesday Tirade edition. Sam Sheehan, Zaire, myself, Evan Valenti signing off. But before we do, shout out to eHarmony. This episode is powered by eHarmony. Go to eHarmony.com. Get a 1 free month, the 3-month subscription by using our promo code CelticsBeat at checkout. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at CLNS Roundtable. Also, check us out on iTunes, a part of the Boston Celtics newsfeed as a part of CLNS Media. You can leave us a review if you want. Give us some criticism if you want. Follow us on and subscribe to the CLNS Media page on YouTube. Subscribe to that. It's free. It's super easy. And again, all the podcast app you could possibly find us on, we are on. We'll be back with more Celtics talk coming up this week. So for Sam Sheehan, Zaire, and my producer tonight, Matt Egnall, I'm Evan Valenti. We'll see you guys next time on Celtics Roundtable here on CLNS Media.
Yo, we got to talk about the fact that I want to get on. Maybe I'm going to go through Max Lederman for this, but NBC Sports has got to stop showing Donnie Wahlberg at games. It's embarrassing because it implies that we're proud that he's there. And come on.
No,
man.
We've never been. We stopped being proud of the Wahlbergs when Mark Wahlberg left during the Patriots Super Bowl comeback at halftime. That's when Mark Wahlberg lost his card there. I don't know. Back, but you gotta do some shit.
We're talking about Donnie Wahlberg though. We're talking about the inspiration for Donnie drama. We're talking about a boy band member, despite being 37 at the time. I know he wasn't really, but my man is the Blue Bloods cast member, Donnie Wahlberg.
Yes.
The Wahlberg brother.
Should we go? Okay, hang on. Should we do the next hot take? We'll be like we holstered this one just so we could do it right, and we just go through his IMDb and just absolutely annihilate him for it.
No, I wanted to work out trades. I want to trade for other famous fans. I was saying this online.
Yeah, but who's taking Donnie Wahlberg though?
Well, we got to sweeten the pot. It's got to be 2 firsts. But here, look, the Kings are good at getting grifted. Okay, 2 firsts and Donnie Wahlberg, that's a toxic contract, and we're getting back pornographic actress Sasha Grey, who's a huge Kings fan. See, man. That I can get behind.
Zaire, you ever meet Sasha Grey? I'm hoping there's a Sasha Grey story coming here because that'd be
that's what
Dude, I was cracking up, and then my card dropped. But No, I haven't. I don't think I've met Sasha Grey. I gotta go through my videos. Maybe I saw it this last event, and I forgot. There's so many of them. Like it was too many of them. But yeah, Sasha Grey. I gotta go back and see, man.
We gotta. Don't get busted for tampering like Magic Johnson, but like float the trade, see if she's interested.
Have our people talk to her people.
Brad Stevens can unlock potential. I'm just saying. Get her in a better situation. I'm just saying.
Get her a better director, better producers. She'll be better.
A better situation.
There's enough.
Oh man. We'll get her in some porn satire. I don't know. We'll get her in the next Pirates movie.
Yeah, she's a versatile actress. No joke. I was checking out her IMDb. It's more impressive than Donnie Wahlberg's. Yeah, she's got a better IMDb than Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm
respectable
with the Kings fan. That's all I got to say about that. I can't believe you.
I literally Googled famous Kings fan, and she was the first one that popped up. I was like, all right, I can with this.